Hi, welcome back to another video where I'm going to be taking you through 10 things I would never do as an interior designer when I'm working with laminates. Now, this is a little bit different from our usual project videos, but I want to share the do's and the don'ts that make the difference between a professionally designed timeless space and one that's been thrown together without much thought. While laminates are budget friendly and versatile, they do pose some design challenges. They are often used on wardrobe and storage cabinet finishes, or on doors or wall panels or paneling behind the TV. Now, these applications mean that they will be covering a significant amount of surfaces at eye level, and which is why it's very essential to make some smart choices when it comes to laminate finishes. So let's begin our list with the first point. When you're choosing laminates, don't forget about realistic patterns. While laminates can mimic natural materials like stone or wood, choosing ones with patterns that don't look authentic can cheapen the overall design, which is why I refrain from using fake look-alike materials, which is a marble print laminate or a stone printed laminate or an obvious wood print on a laminate. Now, I have a sweet spot for real wood and veneer, but I can understand that it can be quite costly. So when I'm dealing with tight budgets, the most I would consider using in terms of a fake lookalike material would be a wood finish laminate. And even if I do incorporate them in my projects, I would ensure that it is not an obvious print, and instead I would go for a open grain finish or a semi-matte finish so that it would closely resemble real wood. So I believe there's no harm in using laminates as such, but opting for ones that look like obvious prints can look gaudy in my opinion, which is why remember to opt for laminates which are either a nice solid neutral color, or even if you're going for patterns, choose ones that resemble the real thing, which will give a more sophisticated and convincing look. Glossy laminates have one drawback, which is that they reflect a lot. So you'll often see ceiling lights glaring into the reflections, and these reflections can add so much visual noise in the space. And which is why in my design philosophy, using high gloss laminates is a big no-no. Of course, I don't mind using them on a specific small part within the house or over statement furniture pieces as accents. However, covering large surfaces with high gloss laminates can make the space feel very cluttered because of the reflections. Moreover, high gloss laminates can have a potential impact on the acoustics of the space because they are super reflective, which means that they can affect the comfort and functionality of a space like the TV room, for instance. And hence, I use a semi-matte or a matte finish laminate, which are easy to clean. Don't underestimate the ease of maintenance. While I prefer using matte laminates over glossy ones, it's crucial to select matte laminates that are easy to clean. So let me give you an actual reference. If you were to opt for the SF finish, which is the acronym for suede finish from a merino laminate catalog, you would notice that particular finish might appear matte, but it does have a very subtle sheen along with an eggshell-like texture, which in my view is almost like a matte or a semi-matte finish, but it offers sophistication while still remaining easy to clean. While I prefer SF finish, it's worth noting that some newer laminate finishes like the super matte finishes look fantastic and feel fantastic. However, they are a little challenging when it comes to cleaning because it's very easy to wipe them down, but you'll still notice mop marks on them. The use of high glossy laminates can introduce another challenge, which is the potential for surface waviness. Now, when these high gloss laminates are stuck to a plywood base, it's very common to notice subtle waves or irregularities on the reflective surface. And these imperfections may result from variations of the underlying plywood or from irregularities during the adhesive application. While some may not be bothered by these subtle undulations. For a more uniform look, it is advisable to explore matte or semi-matte alternatives that won't exhibit this waviness. Laminates come in a wide range of colors and patterns, so it is very easy to get distracted, feeling tempted to select different color combinations for various parts within the same room or distinct laminates for separate rooms. Yet it is very crucial to have a color palette which is coordinated, because mismatched laminates can disrupt the flow of a space and can make the space feel very chaotic. So to achieve a more well-balanced and pleasing design, always keep a cohesive color palette in mind, and this will ensure that your space exudes a sense of unity and make it more visually appealing and inviting. Moving on to another design trend that I would avoid at all costs when I'm working with laminates is the introduction of those horizontal or vertical contrasting bands. Specifically the juxtaposition of two extremely different tones or patterns placed side by side on the same surface. It's a big no in my book, and I feel like sometimes people just cannot resist the urge to over-design, thinking that adding such contrasting strips or bands is going to add some fun element in the space. But in my view, it often seems unnecessary, whether it is done on wall panels or door or wardrobe shutters, especially when there is a high contrast between the bands. And so instead of using these contrasting bands, I would much rather add nice hardware like cute little knobs or handles on the doors or wardrobe shutters. And these little details can actually enhance the decorative value of these laminated surfaces, as well as provide subtle ways of adding character. Now let's talk about another fairly common trend, which is gold metal strips recessed into laminated panels. You've most likely seen them as crisscross or straight lines just randomly added to laminated wall panels. Now, in my opinion, it almost feels like they're screaming for attention, and people often have this misunderstanding that adding these gold strips into the laminated panels can add a touch of luxury to their home. But in my view, it can come off as a bit ostentatious. There are more elegant ways of adding luxury into your space by incorporating luxurious looking furniture pieces or decor, or the right hardware or metal accents that can bring in the perfect amount of sophistication. It's such a timeless way of infusing a sense of luxury into your space, and I'd much prefer this over using gold strips or metal bands, which in my view lacks the timeless charm. So the edge of laminated shutters is often an overlooked detail, but they play a very significant role in both aesthetics and safety. The black thickness of the laminate's core is often visible on the edges, and it not only affects the visual appeal, but it also creates sharp edges that may cause injury, and that's where edge band comes into play. The choice of edge treatment, whether it's a ready-made edge band or a thin wood putty, they both offer a solution by covering the exposed edges of the laminate, providing a very clean and finished look. In fact, ready-made edge bands come in a variety of colors and finishes, allowing you to coordinate with the laminate. It's not just about aesthetics. By adding edge bands, you can round off the sharp edges, thereby reducing the risk of injury. So don't forget about edge treatments. Don't fall into the trap of overlooking laminate quality. Cheap laminates can save you money upfront, but they may wear out quickly and look less appealing over time. So invest in high quality branded laminates that are durable and will look good even after years of use. And trust me, it's going to be worth it in the long run. It's tempting to use laminates wherever possible because they're so affordable, but overloading the entire space with laminates wherever possible is something I would never do. Introducing different materials like wood, stone, metal, glass, and fabrics can create a very dynamic and visually interesting space. So there you have it. These are the 10 things that I would never do as an interior designer, especially when it comes to laminates. I think it's very essential to discuss these things because internet can be a very confusing place. It's very easy for something that is frequently seen again and again to be misinterpreted as the norm or the standard. I've come across numerous videos featuring known builders and developers where they showcase their sample flats, and they often aim for a very luxurious ambience using the very same high gloss laminates, unrealistic patterns, and those crisscross gold metal strips. Now, it's certainly okay to showcase, certain type of interiors because that's what prospective home buyers would like to see, and they too desire a well done space. However, when such efforts are repeated over and over again and are simply overdone, then this can limit people's exposure to genuine design options. And when our clients express a strong interest in incorporating these very commonly done details, which is totally understandable given their exposure, then we try to sit down with them and truly understand their perspective. We dive deeper into the reasons for being drawn to these frequently used details. And when we uncover the underlying reasons, we use these as a starting point for us to come up with timeless alternatives to create the same desired ambience. This is precisely why involving interior designers is invaluable, because they bring their professional expertise to the table to create spaces with a very thoughtful approach that truly exude balance and sophistication. However, we often come across situations where clients are fixed at incorporating the very same things that we've discussed in this video. While it's our responsibility to educate them about our best professional opinion, we are more than willing to empower them to make an informed decision. After all, it's their home, their preferences, and they need to feel genuinely comfortable and at ease in their own space. If you've enjoyed this video and found these tips helpful, then don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more interior design content. Also, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section below. And thanks for joining me in this chatty session today, and I'll catch you in the next video.